taking on Andrew Vlahoff.
Couldn't play. Once again, Gaze and Copeland were scoring freely. The Tigers were up by 2 at the first break, 7 at the half. But the key was their rebounding. Led by Blair Smith with 14 boards to go with his 17 points, Melbourne swept the glass, mostly on the offensive end. The Bullets made a third quarter run to close the gap, but were outscored 32-20 in the final term. Gaze shot 33 with 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Copes 26 with 7 rebounds and 8 assists. Andrew Goodwin top scored for the Bullets off the bench with 22 in 29 minutes. Melbourne 111, Brisbane 97.
Well, Leonard, they threw everything at you. They came at you all night, but it was just so cool in the crisis.
Well, we expected that. Our main purpose was to slow Hammer, and we were down, and I think we did a good job on that. And Blair and Dave did a good job on the rebounding, and that's why we got to win.
Big game for us. Get us back on, I think, 50%, so important for us.
The Falcons were out to stop Sydney's 4-game winning streak in a tough defensive match at Newcastle. This was a game that broke one record and equalled a couple of others as ferocious D and poor execution resulted in some low percentages. Sydney shot 28% to Newcastle's 36%. The Falcons equalled their best defensive effort for a quarter. They restricted Sydney to 10 in the first term. The Kings clawed back in the second quarter, but after that, it was the home team on top. Reggie Smith pulled down 20 boards. Tony Jensen shot 23 for a game high. Newcastle won 81-66 and in doing so broke its own defensive record for the NBL. It was also the Kings' equal lowest score in NBL history.
Yeah, there was. It became very physical, obviously due to the fact that there wasn't any baskets being scored and the tough defence. But, you know, they're just one of those games. They're going to happen, and we've got two very physical teams out there, both wanting to get the win, and those things happen during games.
And just finally, Tony, the Falcons here to stay this year?
I think so, yeah. I think we've got a better team than last year. We're cemented in the top 4 right now. We haven't been there too often. I think we want to stay there for a while.
Great year for Tony. Congratulations too, mate, on making that all-star team. I know you and your family will be very proud. Plays of the week time. Here is it Robert Rose with the determined definition, the weight of Townsville's front court sagging from his broad back. Chris Monk, serious D. Niles of D. Mac. The back of his hand jammed against the rim, but it's out of there. And Leon Trimmingham changing to his left hand as he goes up, and down on Chris Monk. Well, that's one he couldn't block.
Find out, we can't be beaten now.
So here we go. Heel's got the ball. They need to score 2 to win. Heel, the 3, makes it! Oh, what a shot! You are a genius, Shane Heel.
This is Sunday Basketball with Bill Woods.
I've been reticent to sort of pick any one game as a crunch game. To me, they're all tough and they're all crunch games. Every time we step on the floor, it's a chance to win. But you know, our focus is on making sure the team is playing well.
Mark Bragg's viewpoints on this Week 11 clash, the Gold Coast Rollers up against the Townsville Power Suns. Hello and welcome to the Townsville Breakwater Entertainment Centre. Well, it is a crunch game for both teams, I think, if they want to make it into the 8 this season, particularly for the Rollers. They lost 2 games of the weekend against Hobart and South East Melbourne. This really is a vital one for them.
Oh, it certainly is. They have played well in recent weeks. They're 4 out of the last 7 games, which is a good performance for them. They're a team that loves to run and like to get out and play in the open court, and for that reason they have 5 players in double-figure scoring on averages, of course, but they let in more points than any other team in the league, so the Suns do have a chance there if they can do a good job defensively to get in the game. However, I understand that Derek Rucker has an ankle problem, and we just don't know just yet how much he's going to play.
Well, he didn't do too much training during the week, and speaking of Derek Rucker, a special moment for tonight. We've got 3 all-star players playing in this game. Now, in previous seasons, the Suns have been flat out making 1. 2 of their imports have made the starting 5.
Well, it's an indication of the fact they've recruited well this season more than anything else. And, you know, Derek and Clarence are at the top of the league. Derek averaging 30 points a game, and Clarence a leading rebounder, 25 rebounds against Perth last week. And Steve Woodbury for the Gold Coast Rollers has been the driving force behind them in recent weeks. He's a good player.
Well, let's quickly have a look at the starting 5s, and a change here for the Suns particularly.
Well, yeah, they've started tonight with both Jason Cameron and Shane Trolling, something they haven't done in the past, and it'll be interesting to see why. Although Jason is a utility player and can play pretty much anywhere on the floor. The Gold Coast Rollers have gone with the same 5 people who've done the job for them every week.
Sellout crowd number 33 for the Townsville Power Suns. The action about to get underway. The Suns wearing their blue strip tonight and the Rollers in the white. Froling. Rucker. Well, as we mentioned in the preview, hasn't trained all week because of an ankle injury. It'll be interesting to see just how much court time Rucker does get tonight. Froling. Shot clock down to 10 seconds. But the Suns very patient. Here's the first shot of the night, and it's good for Jason Cameron. JC gives the Suns a 2-point lead.
Well, Jason doesn't shoot the ball enough. We keep saying week in and week out. He's knocked that one down first up. He shoots a good percentage. He's averaging 49% from the field this season. So people these days know Paul for some of the stories he does on Network 10, more so than his ability as a player.
You're a game man saying that.
Well, I mean, he's become the clown prince of basketball, hasn't he? He does a great job. He's tremendous personality.
Oh, Tyson getting up there again to deflect that away. It was legal. That was a sure 2 points.
Suns showing a great deal of patience here on their execution of offense.
Rucker. Shot clock down to 1 second. Oh.
Well, you can't be more patient than that to get it down to 1 second. David Blades coming in. Of course, David Blades is not without his problems. You'll see his right hand there taped. He still has a problem with his fingers, and I know that he's playing under pressure as well of an injury.
It hasn't been one of the best of weeks for the Suns. Their lead up to this game.
Well, prior to going on the road trip there last weekend, I know that in one practice session, Glenn Stump had 3 teeth knocked out by Cameron Dickinson with an elbow. Kieran Mitchell badly injured an ankle, and David Blades aggravated the problem with his finger all in the one session. So they were very much to put. Well, he had trouble even squaring up to get a look at the basket out there. He was so far out.
That was more than an NBA 3. Suns leading by 10. Rollers get first use of the ball, and Zaghetti drops down a 2-pointer.
It'll be interesting to see how the Rollers handle the start of this quarter. They really need to up the ante defensively. I know that defense is something that Dave Claxton places a lot of importance on, but they have consciously made an effort this year. There's Mitchell Hill goes. So what a great pass.
Great assist, Kieran Mitchell Hill. Finished off well by Dickinson.
As I was saying, the Rollers have gone to a running game. Zaghetti goes inside. Tyson with the block. Well, getting the action.
Oh, certainly are. The way we like it.
And I'll get through what I'm saying about the Rollers very shortly. The fact that they have looked to...
I think.
Yeah, could have to. They've looked to run the ball a lot more this year, which has caused them to give up more points. But I think tonight the Suns have slowed them up. And there's Harvey with 2. The Rollers are going to need to play a lot better defense tonight, I think, to contain.
Rucker looking to spark his team. Tyson. Rucker brings it in a little closer. Nice baseline jumper, gets 2. And the Suns are out to a 3-point lead. But goes himself and gets 2 points, Derek Rucker. They're trailing by 3 at this stage. Woodbury. So the Suns at the moment playing without their imports. Relying on the Australians plus 1 naturalised. There they are on the bench, just taking a breather. Flynn.
Travel call. And if it had not been a travel, it would have been a block, either way.
Flynn. Still with Matty Flynn. Oh, well, a shot under pressure. So that's it. At half-time, the Suns go to the break, leading by 2, 49-47. Centre, another full house. The Suns leading by 2. Having a quick look at the field shooting percentage for that first half. 48 for the Suns, 35 for the Rollers. And, well, I mean, both sides have gone down a little bit there. The Rollers really haven't had a great night shooting-wise, have they?
No, but as I said before, they're getting up a lot of shots, so I guess they're working on saturation rather than percentages at the moment. But yeah, the score says 49-47, so realistically, stats are an interesting aspect of the game, but the only stat that really counts is the scoreline, which is now tied at 49 all. And on the run, Harvey just takes the ball away and just makes it a tough shot. I think Clarence was really looking to dunk that, but didn't quite get the timing on it, but finished it off, and from there, picked himself up off the floor and got to the other end of the court and committed the foul. Now, again, it's a foul, but Fred Herzog has missed the first one. So there's been 2 fouls committed on shooters that have so far saved 3 points. The problem for the Suns, however, is that it was Tyson's 4th foul, and they certainly wouldn't want him to get another one before the end of this quarter.
Glenn Stump into the game as well. Rucker. With a big three-pointer.
Wow.
Well, I've got to tell a story now. I went down to one of the trainings this week, and Derek Rucker said, "Ken, you seem amazed that I can knock them down from so far out." And he said, "I'll put 5 on this one." He was at the halfway line, and he said, "I'll put 5 on this one." I said, "I'm not that stupid." Apparently he got the newspaper journo, Brett Judge, once, and then said, "I'll double your money," and got him again as well.
Well, I think that's something they do quite often at practice, the guys, and I know it's something Leroy Loggins liked to do. Leroy tried to get me involved in one of those halfway shootouts when the Bullets were here early in the year, and I said, you got more money than I have. There's Rucker going to the hole with another great shot.
Suns with a chance to extend 17-point split to the Suns. So the Rollers are going to have a huge quarter. Derek Rucker and Cameron Dickinson both had 14 points in that third term. Dickinson, in fact, shooting 80% from three-point territory. Hill.
And the Suns did a very good job there defensively, chasing down the perimeter shooters. Not one of them got a good look at the shot. They've gone inside late in the shot clock, and Herzog, with a tough jump hook, was not able to put it away.
The Suns more than overdue for a win, and I think the crowd can sense one tonight. Of course, still a long way to go. But that third quarter has certainly set them up. Dickinson, under pressure, gets the shot away. And the Rollers come up with it through Steve Woodbury. He hasn't had a night to remember, but this man has. Zaghetti has worked hard at both ends of the floor. And there he is again. Oh, it's on.
Well, just a little surprised at Clarence's reaction there. I mean, he really didn't want to get a foul in that situation, and Zaghetti just came in after the ball. The foul was called for him, so Clarence needs to just keep his cool. He doesn't react like that very often. When you're 18 points in front, you don't want to get involved in anything.
Just a matter of get the ball and shoot it. The Suns are going to have a win.
The Suns need now just to run the clock down, make sure they don't take the shot too early. Because the man to have the ball in his hands, Derek Rucker, is always going to make pretty good decisions. There's one of them. Luke Abrams gets a freebie for 2.
Well, he's played well tonight too. And Matty Flynn checks into the game for just the last minute. And the crowd stand to Derek Rucker. Herzog gets it inside. Great pass to Zaghetti. And those two have really basically kept the Rollers in the game. 20 points for Zaghetti, 31 for Fred Herzog. Matty Flynn into the game. You can see how much time is remaining, how much time is left before the Suns celebrate. Abrams. Dickinson thought about the shot. Shot clock is down to 4. He takes it this time. And that's it. 13 seconds remaining. The Rollers will get one last shot. And that'll do for Trevor Torrance. So he improves his statistics. He goes up to 12 points. The big Hail Mary from Clarence Tyson ends the ball game. Salute the Suns. They've done it tonight and they deserve the win. They walk away with a win and the crowd celebrate. The Suns 108, the Rollers 90. Trevor will be here. Well, here he is right now, in fact, with the man who's played with an injury but has come away with 32 points and has led his side to victory, Derek Rucker.
Well, the Townsville Suns have picked up their second victory for the season, 108-97 over the Gold Coast. They've had to be very patient waiting for it, and Derek Rucker tonight, playing with an injured ankle, still picked up 32 big points.
Yeah, it was a game I realized that physically I wasn't 100%, and I was going to have to compensate for that by playing a little bit more intelligently, and I think we as a team did that tonight.
I thought early in the game you really went out there and made sure you got the other players involved, and I know that they realised your problem with the injury and they stepped up around you.
Yes, we got some guys, some easy shots. I think that was the key in the first half myself. I think I hit 4 or 5 of my first 7 shots, so I was off to a good percentage, and then I think we just kind of followed suit. We thought we let them back in the game, but the coaching staff really just wanted to try and give me a little bit of run, see how I went. They told me that the second half would be mine, and they weren't going to take me out of the game unless I asked to be pulled out. So I felt pretty well rested, even though I haven't trained in a while, so my fitness is a bit questionable, but I felt pretty good out there.
I thought defensively you slowed the game down, you didn't allow the Rollers to get into a running game, and took away their perimeter shooting, which really slowed the game up for them. They weren't able to find the easy points.
Well, we've been playing a slower type of basketball in the past few weeks. We realize that we're probably better off like that. We can keep the scores relatively low. We can't run and gun with teams like we tried to in Brisbane. So, we felt all along that we've been playing good basketball this year. It's just unfortunate that the wins haven't come like we wanted them to. But we've been through a tough part of the season, and we probably had as tough an opening half of the season as anybody in the league. So, the next half of the season we feel is going to be ours. We can put together maybe 6 or 7 wins and really take it on from here and definitely keep our home court strength.
I just looked at you and the guys at the end of the game. I mean, previously with the win, everyone was excited. There was jubilation. Tonight it looked more like relief.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're 1-10, and the way we've been losing games have been so close, and it is a relief to win. And you look at that scoreboard, and the last 8 or 9 minutes just can't tick down fast enough. And sometimes you think it's never going to end, but we hung tough in there in the fourth quarter and made some plays when we had to, and that won the game for us.
Well, Derek, I know the fans here, and we certainly thought that you guys did a great job tonight, and congratulations on your second win.
Thank you very much.
This is from the charity stripe, 100%. Cameron Dickinson.